Check your eyebrows. Make your eyebrows straight. Cause it's Saturday night and people want to see your eyebrows looking just right. Cause it's Saturday night and I broke this thing, so I put it over there. Cause it's Saturday night and it's Saturday night and it's Saturday night and it's Saturday night. What's up, internet? What's up, internet? What's up, what internet? Internet, 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 do. Oh, I can spin around. What's going on, internet? We're warming it up. We're getting weird. I've been on the road all day. Oh, Big Pedro's here. Big Pedro's bringing the surprises. And I'm yelling into the mic. Sorry about that, guys. But that's just how it's going to be on a Saturday night. Sorry. I'm going to get a little excited. Jadron Aquatics, what's up? And Matt Guillemette. Sergeant Tank is here. What's up? Let's find the thing over here and we'll give the switch the scene. Oh, we went all the way over to scene 2. Look at that. Like, as if by magic. Let's fluff the beard. Make the beard extra fluffy. What's going on, internet? It is Saturday night, and I'm coming to you right off the beginning here to let you know I don't have any video segments. Again, sorry. Muchas. I don't know the word for apologize. I forget now. Sorry about that. Sorry about not having any video portion for you tonight. I will be hitting that headlong, right into the video early morning tomorrow. I'll be up at 6 a.m. starting to shoot video again. Today, I did not have time to shoot too much video. Chansky85 is here. I've got topics which get washed out whenever I hold up on this stupid old camera. Hard to see here. We've got a few things to talk about. We were talking about the schooling fish that are going to be going into the 240. I've finally made up my mind on what I want in that 240. Dispensa, yes, is sorry, I guess, in Spanish. Oh, I'm fired. I could have set up the camera for a time lapse when I was gone. I guess that's a good point, Potato. I should probably look into doing that when things are going. A Space Pig is here. What's up? But tonight's topics, and then we have rock work to talk about. That's the reef style rock work. We're going to work on talking about some of that, what my plan is with that, and then I'll be shooting video of that tomorrow morning. I was unable to do it today. Now, the reason for that, we had family stuff to take care of today that takes precedence over anything else. The family needed taken care of. Just got back from basically a 7-hour road trip, loading up a bunch of stuff and moving it to Hoquiam, Washington. If you've ever been to Hoquiam, Washington, I was there today. Maybe somebody lives there. I'm not sure. Just outside of Aberdeen, Washington. If anybody has been there, it's sort of deep in the logging country out there. It's far. It took a long time to get there. There was a lot of traffic, things of that nature. Long story short, we finally have finished moving Victoria's mother. So she is now moved and located. All the drama around that is handled now, and we shall be moving forward. And I think we showed up as well as we could. It has taken a long time to get all that stuff done. Whoosh. Whoosha. right? Just let it just wash over your body. You let it just wash over your body and let it just serenity meow. Cool. But that was the thing that really needed handling today, and so we had to take care of that, and I had to do the air quotes father-in-law kind of thing, if you know what I'm saying. I had to do that and do that stuff. We managed to handle it. Now we're getting back to a little bit of normalcy with having her be moved. We no longer have the little kids here to take care of. So that is also a little less time off of our hands because those young guns take some taking care of. They need time. They need that time. They need that good time. Oh, Dark Heart Animals here. It's the internet showing up on the internet. Thanks for coming out. Oh, son-in-law. Yeah. Good call, Jadron. I think I said father-in-law. Son-in-law stuff. There we go. Good ear on you. Good ear on you. Got the other mic here. Got some other networking stuff, which we talked about yesterday, is going to be happening soon, which is going to be cool because I'm thinking 99% sure I'll be able to do some of the live streams from the actual fish room coming up here shortly. Those of you that have been following the live streams, I don't have any signal out in the fish room, no signal. So that was going to be a big problem if I was going to be shooting anything out there. So I've got some networking hubs, basically some routers here that I'm going to have to run the wire underneath the house, crawl around up in the attic and do that, and we'll get that handled shortly. I doubt that I'll be making a video about that. I'll probably shoot a short video portion for you guys on the live stream of crawling around in the attic or whatever, just for the old shits and grins, you know what I'm saying? So we'll get that going on. Oh, Neurotic's here. What's up, Neurotic? We're kind of freestyling again tonight. We're going to answer questions if anybody has any questions. And that kind of stuff. And I also have 3 topics that I want to run over here on this little piece of paper, and anything included. I have, whose pen is this? It's a team. It's a team. Teamwork makes the dream work. Together, everyone always matters. Team pen, which sort of seems to work fairly. Okay, it works just about as good as everything has been working recently, so it seems to make marks on paper, so that's going to work. So we'll be running over that stuff, and then also we got some freestyle stuff that comes up as people ask questions. We're a couple minutes in here, so here come the air quotes advertising portion, which isn't really advertising, it's sort of me just talking about nonsense. All right, so the first portion, if you want to support the channel, we have some big projects that we want to do. Why, in God's name, is this stupid thing? All right, hold on. Technical spaz out over here with the doodly boops and the waggity things and the... Hold on. All right. Well, I'm not very good at advertising, which is why I want to get through this little advertising part as much as we can. Okay. It's not really advertising. It's just how you can support the channel. You can subscribe and like and share and send it out there if you like. Come here and comment, or comment on the videos, send me questions, blah, blah, blah. The interaction portion, that's why I like doing it this way. I like the interaction, being able to talk to you guys and actually come and show up, hang out for a little bit, and do these live streams. So you can do that by just... being around. That's a way to support. The other way to support would be, or there's like many ways to support to different degrees depending on how much or how little you want to do. You can go to the link that I just put in the chat there. That is the Patreon channel. That's the Patreon channel, the Patreon page, which is we're starting to crowdfund some of these projects. Some huge projects that we want to do, which seem like lofty goals, but I set my goals super high, and in case if I overshoot them, at some point in time, we'll maybe end up with the new Tacoma Aquarium. We'll see. Who knows? And then some really small regular goals. And those of you that are wondering why there are no Patreon, what do you call them? Oh, tiers. Like the tiers and all that stuff. I don't want anything to ever be around a paywall, if you know what I'm saying. I don't like anything to ever be behind. You have to pay to go see any of that stuff. So I like you guys to be able to see it. If you want to support, you can. If you don't want to, you don't have to. Some people are broke, just like me, and don't necessarily have a ton of money to shell out. And maybe you're supporting some other channel and all that kind of stuff. Awesome, totally cool. Not a big deal. And then, or you can super chat, which is what a lot of people like to do to make sure they get noticed. You can blah, 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 and it's a whole bunch of nonsense, whatever. My whole goal is to never have any advertising, and we're getting inching ever closer and closer to that. Bridget Hybart. Hey, it's Darkheart's wife. He got you hooked on the channel, too. Hey, right on. Hey, we can have, maybe some, all right. Brainstorm here, you guys. Just had a flash of lightning. Well, it would be kind of arrogant for me to call it lightning. Maybe that was like a 3 volts maybe that just went off in my head. Maybe someday we'll do the husband, wife, spouse live stream. Maybe we'll do a spouse kind of live stream because Vicky will be on here sooner than later. I'm going to convince her to get on here. She's really not feeling very well after such a long day today. A lot of drama that we won't talk about, but she's just not feeling well, and so she's just having some downtime for herself. So, but she will be coming on here from time to time for sure, which is another reason why we got another microphone here. Probably somebody in the chat named Carson will probably be coming on here at some point in time soon. Potato, if he happens to be in town, will be coming on here. So we'll try to get some more collaborative stuff going on. Dwayne Kitchell could get his spouse on here. I think that aquariums and this kind of crazy hobby is fantastic for spousal abuse or whatever you want to call it. I say that with spousal abuse with a goof, as a goof. But collaborative projects, that is the fish room with Vicky and I. We're going to get her tank rolling very soon. Which is another thing I'm going to be doing tomorrow. There's going to be a lot of video segments coming up tomorrow and Monday. So those of you that are missing out on that stuff, the short videos will be coming back because I'll have video segments, and everybody missing out on that. Sorry. It's just been crazy hectic. So this is kind of the best I can do right now. And as Potato was saying, or sorry, not Potato, Joel Gillett, straight out of New Zealand, was saying we like to watch unboxing videos on here. Okay, hold on. We'll do a quick unboxing here real quick. Get in here. Spaz out. Act like a fool. Where's the stabby hole? It's got to be a stabbing hole around. Ow! Damn it. Injured on live stream. All right. We got some cords. This is the Netgear N300 Wi-Fi router with external antennas. Look out, dog. Oh, see, it comes with a power connector. This sweet cardboard tray where you could probably take your drinks with you on the to-go. One tiny patch cable, which we won't be using. Router McRouterton. We have a router. Oh, it was in a bag. Uh-huh. Yep. Oh, I'll probably accidentally. There we go. And there it is. Unboxed. Boom. Oh, hold on. We got certificates down here. Oh. Hey, brown dog. The brown dog's down here. Easy brownies. Is this your box? Is that your new box? Okay. Maybe the dog will get in that cardboard box. And then we got some paperwork. Okay, there we go. Unboxed. Boom. We also have some I got in some salt today, so I'm able to do a big water change on the reef, and I'll show you guys how I go about doing that tomorrow. Carson will be wildly interested in the buckets and wheels that we'll be bucketing and wheeling around the fish room. He'll be very excited because I have new ones that will replace the ones that his, I don't know, one of his relatives threw a bunch of garbage in the ones that I lended to him. So there we go. We got the unboxing video for you all tonight. You guys that are crazy about unboxing videos, there you go. We unboxed a white, what would we call that? Rauterus fishius from the Deep Netgear, I believe. Yep, Netgear. There you go. That'll be some of that. And there we go. Don't break it. I don't know. It's field tested, stress tested. I'm sure it'll be fine. Dwayne Kitchell, my spouse promised if there was any sort of abuse that when I fell asleep, she would sew me up in the bed sheets and beat me with a baseball bat until nothing stuck up higher than 2 inches, so no abuse. Oh, I see what's going on. Ciclinez is wondering how many tanks we're running right now. Right now we're running 2 large tanks, one of the reef and then one of the freshwater variety, and I'll be setting up another 180-gallon freshwater here very, very soon. Some of the stand, I'm going to be finishing the stand tomorrow and getting the sump lined in. Like I said, I'm going to have a busy day tomorrow, but it'll have to be so. It'll have to be that way, you guys. I'll have to have a busy Sunday, but that is a good thing. That is a good thing. I'm going to get a lot of stuff done. That's what's going to happen tomorrow. I don't have anything in the way other than my mother's birthday, so I'll be making a phone call to my mom because we won't be able to make it over the mountains to her place, but we'll probably be doing that next weekend, so I guess that is a little bit of a lead-in that next weekend we probably won't be here for a couple of days, so drag, but we'll have to do that. We're running those 2 tanks right now. Like I said, we're going to be adding 2 more big tanks and then a couple of small quarantine tanks that will be in there, and that's what we'll be hammering on in the meantime. And then we actually have a big pond and some aquaponics that will be going in probably the next month or 2. We actually have the whole cleared of all of the nonsense from the previous faux pond that was there. And so I'll be getting that dug fairly soon. Realistically, I'll need a day or 2 to get that dug out, lined with some concrete and all that kind of stuff. Get the footers put in and all that, and then get the liner. And yeah, I'll definitely be making videos about that. So that will be an interesting system that I know a lot of people have a lot of excitement for. I am busting my ass painting houses and doing construction so that I can fund that project and get a little bit of time to work on it. So, but it's coming down the pipe, and I'm excited because we're definitely getting to the point now where we're working on cool stuff instead of kind of boring stuff, which is pretty dang cool. So. Yeah, my mom's birthday. She's sort of excited about it. I'm not sure. Let's see. What are they doing tonight? Shit. Whoa. Let's see. Saturday, July 15th at the Gorge Amphitheater. Events. What is that? Train, rock, and roll, wine, something. Hold on a second, guys. Let's see what are they doing? Okay, hold on. Let's see here. Hopefully there's no audio on this. The Train, rock, and roll, wine experience. I don't know what that means. I wonder who plays that. I don't know what that is. No, anyhow, that's whatever that is, the Train, rock, and roll, wine experience. That's apparently what they're doing tonight at the Gorge Amphitheater. If anybody has been to the Gorge Amphitheater, it is beautiful, and I would guarantee you the weather over there tonight is impeccably perfect, I would tell you. Yeah, I don't know what that is, but that's what they're doing, and very exciting. Probably some old-timey, slow wine-drinking music. Sounds like that's what they're doing. Sounds like fun. I know she has a bunch of friends over there, and that is what they're up to. So reasonable deal. Good news on my fish front. Surprise river rainbow fry in the quarantine tank. Surprises! Well, that's good. Well, there you go. It's always good to have surprise fry. How many art are you doing now? Cyclinez is asking, how many art am I doing now? I don't know what that means. That question, art, confusing to me. How many paintings am I working on? I have one series right now I'm working on, and I'm actually talking to Kevin about a commission that needs doing, and have a bunch of art that's going up in a barber shop, which you guys will probably be able to tell when I get it hung up in there, because this hair will get shorter than it is now. And Carson has a good point. There is he brought up a thing. But Carson has a good point. Yeah, there's a big saltwater barbecue frag swap that is coming up, I believe, on the 12th of August. Yep. I think that's it. Yeah, Saturday, the 12th of August, here in the Tacoma, Washington area. Carson and I will be blasting over to that. We'll probably take both cameras, shoot a bunch of stuff, get a bunch of stills, probably some video, see who's there. We're not sure who's going to be there. I don't know who's going to be there, but Carson will be there. I'll be there. People are excited. People are excited about a giant frag swap, and I'll tell you this much: I missed the Bob Moore. The Bob Moore frag swap is the really big one here in Washington, and I missed it this year because I didn't have a tank set up, and there was no reason for me to go there and buy a bunch of stuff and then just let it die. You know what I'm saying? So I missed the big Bob Moore this year, and kind of sucks. But sounds like this summer frag swap is going to make up for it. It's going to make up for it. I know it in my heart of hearts, deep down in my cockles, in my nether region, in my wherever. I know it's going to make up for it, and it's going to be dope. And as a matter of fact, speaking of that, I actually stopped by Aquarium Paradise, which is a fairly large store down here near me on the way home from Hoquiam. We got there with 8 minutes to spare, and to get in the door and be those jackasses that showed up 8 minutes before the place closed. But it gave us just enough time to go walk around the store and check out some of the saltwater stuff they have there. And I'd give it a 50-50. I'd give it a 50-50, or like a 7.5 out of 10. 7.5, maybe 8. Maybe 8 out of 10. Definitely not the hugest selection in the world, but they can get anything in and quarantine and stuff, and those guys are pretty nice. Their freshwater stuff is all pretty straightforward. I asked about shrimp. Of course, naturally, me being a maniac, I have to ask about shrimp while I was there. And the lady, I don't know how many tanks they have there, probably 200 tanks or something like that. And they had a 2.8 gallon desk tank set up on their counter. That was their freshwater shrimp area. So clearly they're not wildly deep into the freshwater shrimp there, but their reef stuff is quite established, in quite good shape. So I may or may not be getting. It looks like I'll probably be getting some firefish from those guys, because those fire gobies are the bomb, and Vicky loves them. She can't get enough of those little busters, so they are going to be a featured fish in the reef for sure. Jadron Aquatics with the super chat, just whoop, flipping the old live stream here on its head. Where does the name Corvus come from? Okay, so let's do some quick Google action here real quick. Search Google for Corvus. Okay. Corvus is a small constellation in the southern celestial hemisphere. This means raven in Latin. One of the 48 constellations listed in the 2nd century, blah, 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 Scooby-Doo. Okay, Corvus is a Latin word that means raven or blackbird. Ocean is the same thing. It means raven or blackbird. You could be pretty much saying the same thing. I'm pretty sure that they don't have crows where Latin was initially started, so they just had 2 different words for probably big and small, generally, whichever one is which. Now, to give you a little bit of the backstory, when I started out on the internet, it was not a good idea to put your name on the internet, and most everybody had a handle back then. When I started getting onto the internet was probably in 92, after like war games and all that kind of stuff, when you actually had to pick up your telephone, turn it around backwards, put it on a air quote modem, do a little rotary dialing, send it up, and you would actually just go to a bulletin board. And when you'd put stuff up on the bulletin board, you wouldn't put your real name up on there. You had a little handle tag, which I think probably came from the fighter pilots, as we've spoken on this previously. Like Top Gun, none of those guys were Steve or John or Fred or any of that kind of stuff. It was always like Nighthawk or Butt Cheese or Weasel Fart, whatever their call signs were. Sort of along those lines, that's kind of where they went. Corvus was always mine, is what I always went by, mainly because of an old Danish family story, which involves the armor that the original Danish guard used to wear, would have 2 ravens on the back of that armor. So when I was a kid, that seemed very important to me, and yeah, it all just ran out of control and went all into that. So I've always used Corvus Ocean, mainly because Corvus isn't that far off of something that somebody could just find and run with. So to kind of make it a little more unique to me, I went with both Latin words when I was a kid. I mean, realistically, when I came up with that, I was probably 12, 13 or something like that. I was taking these Latin classes with whatever. When I was a kid, they really tried to occupy my time. I'm that kind of kid that would light things on fire and blow up the house. So they really occupied my time with a lot of stuff when I was a kid, and one of them was learning Latin. Let's figure it out, which is wildly, it's a very, very interesting thing to study, that is for sure. Yeah, and Joel Gillett is already answering it there. The genus includes species commonly known as crows, ravens, rooks, and jackdaws. Am I scared of owls? I'm going to tell you something. A friend of ours does falconry, okay? And that is when you send a bird up into the sky and you somehow mind meld with this thing, and then it flies around and it murders things. Murder bird, okay? And then it comes back down and it lands on this giant covering on your arm. And I to this day, I still don't understand exactly what it is all about. They just found it, they find it to be entertaining. I guess sort of like how we find aquariums to be entertaining. So sort of a pet thing that they do. And we know a guy who does that, and he has an owl. And I'm going to tell you something. You look at the falcon, and you get the idea like the falcon's like, I could scratch your face and wouldn't care. The owl looks like I could scratch your eyeballs out, and it's not that the bird wouldn't care, it's that the bird wants to do it. It's in there. It's in the evil in that bird's eye. It's like the only thing that owls know is murdering and occasionally making noises. So as much as I love owls, they are freaky when you get right up close to them, and if you come up to the cage, they will just blast at you with their feet. And it is just, they are prehistoric dinosaurs, but they're less mellowed out than my chickens. Our chickens have that same look. Our chickens have that same dinosaur look to their eyes, where they kind of have this this deadness behind them, like, can I eat you? Can you get in my mouth? That's sort of how they look at stuff. And I will tell you, being around chickens a lot, one of the biggest things that I could advise you, they can't bite you per se, but they will bite the hairs on your leg. They're pretty sure that the hairs on your leg are edible, and they will peck at your legs. So wear pants around chickens. It's more annoying than anything, because it feels like somebody's flicking you from behind, and you don't really know what is going on. Oh, hold on. We got a whole bunch of chatting going on here. It's hard to keep up with the chat, you guys. So I'm not necessarily scared of owls, but they are freaky as all hell. Cichlid Nez, hopefully that answers how I came up with my name on YouTube. I ran with both. Back in the day, I used to play a game called Mega Mud, and that is what inspired me to do it. If anybody out there knows what Mega Mud, you're old like me. It is a 100% text-based D&D style RPG role-playing video game that is 100% text. It is a scroll of text, and you have to keep track of what is going on by reading massive amounts of text as you walk around. The text tells you where you are, what is going on, who's in the room, who's attacking you in the room, what's going on. I used to play Mega Mud, and so when I combined both those words, I would team up with guys like Artemis and Trary and those dudes and go around and murder people. Dwayne helped code Muddy Waters, so yes, I know what you're saying. That just popped up on there. And people are texting me, so now my phone has to go over there on the floor. Okay. So that, to combine that, it all was just sort of an organic thing, realistically, from an original necessity, and then I just stuck with it and kept with it and just kept with it and kept with it, because realistically it started out as my handle. In like 1996 or 97, I went to a Mega Mud gathering, okay? Now this was a very crazy and kind of strange thing that happened. This was the first time I'd ever met anybody from the internet, and I'm going to tell you something right now. About 60% of the people we met, totally cool. Totally, like, sort of weird, but totally cool people. Totally cool people. Like, hey, I'm going to have to get your phone number. Let's hang out sometime. Oh, cool. Yeah, hey. 40% of the people, total psychos, okay? You know, bear in mind, this is like 96, 97, so it's a little bit of a strange thing for somebody to even be on their computer doing stuff at the time. So there was a good 60-40 split, 40% total weird people that you wouldn't want them to know your name or know where you really reside or any of that kind of stuff. But about 60% of them were super cool. It was the first time I'd ever met people from the internet, and realistically, I went like this. Whoosh, a big sigh of relief that I had to that no one that didn't need to know my name there. No one there that didn't need to know my name could realistically easily find out my name. So that was kind of a good thing and kind of a bad thing, but definitely an eye-opener in regards to that situation. So I just stuck with it after that, because it realistically, if people need to know who I am now, I've been around long enough, and it's not that big of a deal. You can get a hold of me, through my company or all that kind of stuff. I'm pretty well established and all that. We have whatever, but back then it was a good thing, and then I just stuck with it. So if that explains it well enough. Isn't Mike Tyson one of those bird whisperers? I'm sure he's probably one of those. He's probably a bird whisperer in the fact that if a bird ever messes with him, he could just uppercut that thing, and it would just be a dust of feathers left. No bird, no more bird. Jadron saying that his two that comes from a mix of your two boys' names mixed together, Jaren and Jadron. Or Jaden. Sorry, Jaden. There's a Jaden nephew, Jaden. So there's at least two in the world. So that's good. Bash the Gathering is asking tips for RCS. Are you asking about cherry shrimp or crystal shrimp? You'll have to qualify that a little bit better, and I'll definitely give you some hot tips for sure. Hot tips. Kimsotus Aurelius. Oh, man, that is awesome. I love that name. Hello, I had a nightmare where an owl chased me. Carson is asking about trash panda issues. If you don't know what a trash panda is or a dumpster bear, that is a raccoon. A raccoon recently murdered one of my chickens a little while ago, and I'm still on the hunt because I'm not allowed to murder them with guns or explosives in the neighborhood I live in. So I'm working on... Okay, from an outside source, Victoria wants me to not murder them. Plus, there are rules living in... we're in the city enough that it counts. So we've just been doing our best to dissuade them from being around. So far, so good, I guess. I don't know. It's working out. We're just doing our best to disallow them opportunity. There we go. That's the word I'm looking. That's the phrase I'm looking for. We're just not giving them any opportunities. And so far, so good. That's a good ratio for the internets. Never met internet people. They will eat you. They will eat you like a cannibal. They might. That could happen. Trap and relocation is a thing, but you are not supposed to trap and relocate here. If you live trap a raccoon, you're supposed to release it where you trap it. Right? That's the rule here. So, like, for instance, if it's in your basement and you trap it, you're supposed to take it outside and release it right outside. So you can just go ahead and put it right back in your basement, basically. But that is the rule around here. So live trapping and releasing is a and relocating is a deal, but you're not supposed to release them somewhere else because you'd be moving you'd essentially be allowing pests, parasites, any of that kind of stuff to spread around at an inordinate rate. Inordinate rate, is that correct? I don't know. You have the potential to spread disease, parasites, and that kind of stuff around. That's why they don't want you to do that. A local pest control guy said, well, if you trap them and never release them from the trap, then technically you're in the right. Which I thought was a funny comment, but just sounded kind of psycho, really. So I don't think I'm going to be going down that road anytime soon. But I would, realistically, I would prefer just to... Lurker! Hey, babe. I would prefer if, like, for instance, on our farm... If we, in the future, when we move to a farm, I will probably just shoot them and get the quickest way to eliminate them from the area because it's one of those subjects that's really tough because my first thing would be just to allow them a better area and dissuade them from coming into an area which would be easier on a farm, so I wouldn't really have to kill very many or do any kind of pest control in that degree or that method. But I feel like it's the most... What is with this today? This is in the weirdest spot, sorry. That is realistically the kindest way to do it, and then feed the leftover to use it for feed, basically, in the long run, or compost, so it's not a waste or anything like that. I don't know. I don't like just uselessly killing things, but pest control has to be handled. Foot forward as much as you can, disallowing any kind of opportunity, which, as I said, is easier to do, like on a farm and stuff like that, because I could put up electric fences and keep them out pretty well, but I can't really do that here. although I might end up doing that anyhow. So I'm working on it. It's a work in progress, but keep in mind, I'm not murdering anything. Don't worry. You don't need to be stressed out. I'm not doing any pest control in that way. I am already scenting around the yard with my own urine and the dog's urine here. And they do not care. Our trash pandas here don't care. They do not care. And the problem is, if the raccoons were trying to kill our chickens so that they could eat them, I would be of a favor or of the persuasion to say that that would be a natural thing. That would be the natural effect, and that those guys would need to eat. So my initial reaction would be, hey, these raccoons need to eat. They're eating. They're doing what they would normally do, and I wouldn't get in the way of that. So, but the problem is these raccoons are of the variety that they kill the chicken and eat the craw. So they basically eat one part of the neck and leave the whole entire chicken left there. They just kill them, which is probably makes sense somewhere in nature, but they are not eating them to eat them. For instance, if a coyote gets one of your chickens, it's just gonzo. They will kill your chicken, take it with it, and the whole pack will eat it. So if a coyote was to get in and get one of the chickens, it would just be gone, and it would be eaten, and it would be used, and I wouldn't feel that bad about it. But what the raccoons do, they kill the chicken, bite the neck out, eat the craw, and then just leave. So it is, it's kind of rude. And if they really want to eat some of our old chickens, we take them down to a vacant property and release them into the wild once they stop laying. And then we have nature chickens down at Vicky's family's property, which is pretty cool. They hang out down there and eventually get murdered probably by the bunch of bald eagles that are down there nesting. There are a bunch of bald eagles down there, which is pretty cool. But Dark Heart Animals was asking about the scenting with urine. I've really been trying that, and they just don't care. They just do not care about any of that. And do I pee in my backyard? Yeah, I do. I'm an adult. And we own this place. The Aquarium Cowboy has been lurking for a while. Gotta go, though. Thanks for a great stream, man. Make sure to hit that like button. Please subscribe. Or subscribe to Aquarium Cowboy. Throw him some subscriptions. Subscribers. You know what I'm saying? Which would be cool. Jared had this happen to his chickens. It sucks. Yeah, it is the epitome of sucking. It is not cool. Because if they ate them, I could at least go like, yeah, man, they're eating it. So, a little bit weird. I repeat, Corey says soak marshmallows in apple juice, which raccoons love, and put them near the chickens' cages. They will pick them up and get sticky in their hands, and they hate sticky in their hands. Raccoons do not care about having sticky hands. I guarantee it. I guarantee raccoons do not care. They would just eat the marshmallows and then murder a chicken and have marshmallow chicken, whatever that is. Whatever marshmallow chicken is, they would have it. It would be a new dish that they would go in for. I reposted the Patreon, guys, so anybody wants to do that, there's ease of access. What is with this stupid button? There we go. It feels like it got hot in here. Where are that thing? Hold on a second. I'm hitting these buttons over here. Buttons. There we go. Cool. So they will leave, Joel. Bet you 10 Hulks. I'm not going to take that bet because these trash pandas are prolific city trash pandas. They eat garbage. They go into garbage cans. I mean, they'll dig holes through the side of the super thick garbage cans. They just don't care. I don't know. And there would be no way for me to verify it, but I trust you, man. If that works, if that's working for you, everybody try that out and let me know if it works really well. But here's the problem. If I throw marshmallows down by my chickens, they will eat them. I guarantee you. I guarantee you my chickens will eat marshmallows. I've seen them do it. They don't care about anything. We feed them old donuts even. They don't care. They're monster fish, or monster fish bird dinosaurs, whatever you want to call them. But we should get to some of the topic here that I wrote down. Okay, I have settled on a fish. It's not that song. It's not the Ponderosa. Is that from the Ponderosa? I think that is. Galaxy Rasboras. I think I have settled on Galaxy Rasboras for the school for the 240. I think that is what I have settled on. I am 99%, 100%, 99% settled on Galaxy Rasboras. I think I can run a school of about 100 of them, 150, maybe even 200, along with all the other fish I got in there, at least 100. So I think that's the fish that I've settled on. It will just be a matter of getting that many all at the same time. That will be the problem. Some people call them celestial pearl danios. But Galaxy Rasbora is kind of the easy street name for them. You know, if you want to get some of your Galaxy Rasboras on the street, kid. They're pretty easy to get your hand on. If I order in bulk, I can probably get the price down pretty reasonable on them, to probably a $2.99 range or something like that, depending. And I might be able to start with a school of like 30 or 40 of them, and see how we can go from there. As Jared was asking, you think they're seasonable? Some people. So yeah, like I think one place I saw. Jeez. Yeah, you can get them down to about $3 a piece if I order them bulk, and if I order a larger bulk, I can probably get it down a little even further than that, depending on who I have them order for me, is going to be a little bit of a deal. But I think that's really what I might end up settling on for the school in the 240. I think it's going to fit best, and they're a weird little fish. If not, I'm going to end up going with the what are they called? The golden spotted danios. I think that's what they were called. But those are going to be the fish that are going to go in there. They can't really eat shrimp that much. I'm sure they will get to some shrimp fry if they really can. They do have really small mouths, so they can't really mess with a adolescent shrimp or anything like that. But I do have a good amount of Heidi caves for the shrimp in the 240, so there's plenty of hiding spots. So I think that is going to be the route of schooling fish that we're going to go for the 240. And then it's just, like I said, it's just availability. But that isn't a super rare shrimp. I'll probably just talk to the local store guy, or maybe Corey or somebody who could order a bunch or have a bunch of them, and I can come get them at their store place, because I feel like that's the best way I like going with doing local and staying local, you know, but you know what I mean, right? So that will be pretty reasonable to work out, and also won't be a struggle to find them. Now, I really got to make a decision on how many Apistos, and with the Achilles in there breeding right now, they're in a breeding frenzy, and I haven't really been able to locate where or where they're breeding. They're just doing this crazy breeding behavior. So I'm working on sorting that out. Once they breed, then we're going to be having a bit of a deal, because we're going to have a lot of those killifish going on in there, because I got 3 pair breeding, which could throw quite a few fry. And from the last time I really bred killies, I did clown killies. Obviously, they breed a little bit different than they breed a little bit differently. But one of the weird things that I had about the clown killies is that I had a bunch of plants and stuff that would occasionally, I would move them from tank to tank, and then clown killies would show up in that tank after a little while. And I couldn't figure out exactly what was going on, but clown killies are resistant to drying and stuff like that, so they'll throw eggs down, and then they just stay on the plant until an opportunity comes up where the condition is the way that they like it. So maybe the temperature was too high or too low or whatever, but when I would move the plant, all of a sudden we'd start getting some fry would just show up. Just those little clown fry would show up. Clown killie fry would just show up. I'm losing track. So now I'm reading the Dupa-Dupe here. Hold on. But yeah, they are a cute little fish, that's for sure. The gold spot are really good looking too, that is for sure. If you buy 200 Galaxy Rasboras at a time, $150 each, if you take them still in the bag from my importer, meaning you quarantine yourself. I've done this a few times. Cool. There we go. That will work perfectly. Let's do that. So Corey and I will gather up our resources of our minds and figure out when we can work that out. I think he gets his... Let me think here. I think the last video I saw from Corey where he was opening up stuff was on like a Friday or something. So he might get his stuff Friday. It's pretty common for a lot of places. But we'll figure out how to work that out, and we'll get that sorted fairly easily. But yeah, like I said, somebody like Corey with the local store, we can work out a good deal. And that is something that you guys that are watching should take away from this video. Get a relationship with your local guys, and some stuff that seems so far out of reach, you can generally work out a deal. You can work out a fair deal if with your local guys, because they want to do what they want to do business too, and they're gonna make they'll make their deal. It's all good. Whatever. I don't know what I'm saying right now. Import orders are Monday. Could meet up at the airport in the morning, etc. You could. Morning at the airport would be perfect, because I wouldn't have to try and get past the Seattle crunch of traffic. Cool. We'll get that sorted out. So we'll meet at SeaTac Airport, and we'll hang out in like the cell phone parking lot or something and be weirdos in the cell phone parking lot. We'll shoot some video of an airplane flying over us, and we'll claim that it's a fish. Tis the fish plane, boss. Tis the fish plane, boss. So maybe we'll do a video where we act like we're on what was that island? Hey babe. Yes, sir. What was the Fantasy Island, right? Fantasy Island. What? Fantasy Island, the show. Yeah, but ours is more like the land of misfit toys. Surprises. I got her. Fantasy Island. Yeah, we'll do that. I'll wear those little short pants and yell about the fish plane. The fish plane, boss! Boss, it's the fish plane, boss! Yeah, either way, we'll work that out. That should be cool. And Joel Gillett with the super chat for 1 Galaxy Rasbora. I like to throw the P in there for some reason. I know that there's no P in there, but for whatever reason, I consistently throw the P in there. The Rasbora. I don't know why. It's a slight issue. I should get myself a white suit again. I used to have a white suit and a bright yellow suit, so I could go around and act like a used car dealer from the 70s, which was good times, and we should probably bring that back at some point. We should probably do that. Why not? Babe, we got to go get some yellow suit. What? Surprise this woman! Oh, okay. Baby blue leisure suit. Here's something that I need to talk about right now. Adidas. If Adidas is out there and they're listening right now, they should reach back and full power punch themselves right in the face. Because after, I don't even know how many years, 10 years, 12 years, 15 years, we've been waiting. We've been waiting patiently for Team Zissou Adidas shoes. The actual licensed Adidas Team Zissou shoes, right? Adidas said it's ridiculous. We'd never make that shoe. It's not feasible. No one would buy it. We wouldn't make any money. Well, guess what? They finally made Team Zissou shoes. I was so excited because my friend passed me the article. It pains me to talk about this. It hurts me inside. They made 100 pairs, and they're auctioning them off in Paris for, so it sounds like a fake charity, but they're auctioning them off for a show in Paris, right? Now I got to show you guys something, so hold on here a second. I'm not gone. I'll be right back. Where are my Zissou shoes?
They're in the closet, the other closet.
Oh, the other one?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's the dress closet. Dress up?
Oh. Here's how much I love the Life Aquatic movie, okay? These are the closest shoes that Adidas makes to the Team Zissou shoe. Now, Vicky was cool enough to get me these pairs, right? To get me a pair of these shoes so I can rock these on special occasions. And I do need to get yellow laces, I know. I need to get the yellow and the blue laces. But I got a pair of those from Victoria because she knows how much I love the Life Aquatic. And they finally made the actual Team Zissou shoe, and we can't buy them. We can't buy them because they only made 100 pairs. And the jerks that are going to buy them are going to put them up on a shelf. And even if I did buy them, I could never wear them. I couldn't even wear them in the house because they'd only be a collector's edition. So I don't know how we do this. I don't know how we get them to make these, but I know they're selling them at the clothes thing, the fucking clothes show, whatever you call it. I don't know my words. I'm so upset. I don't even have words, but that I just had to tell you guys about that because it hurt. I really want Team Zissou shoes. And I can't have Team Zissou shoes. And just, I don't know. That's a little look into my personal life. Something that's probably way too important for anything. But hopefully, at some point in time, they make the Team Zissou shoes so we can rock those. Legit. And I'll be working on that. We'll see what happens. Maybe if I email Adidas enough, they'll make... Maybe they'll make me a pair and send them to me. But then I wouldn't be able to wear those. I'd need like 10 pair. So I could wear one and keep the rest. Joel Gillett, we could drive the 20,000-gallon fish tank truck through the wall of a building containing these shoes. We need Paris. We need tickets to the Paris show, the Fashion Week. The fashion show, that's what it's called. I don't know why I couldn't remember that. But the fashion show is where they're auctioning them off, and it's for some kind of charity, apparently. But it sounded fake. It sounded like a fake charity, like the charity for Adidas to get money, basically. But that's what they're doing. We're coming up on the last couple minutes of the live stream for tonight, guys. I want to say thanks to everybody for coming out. I want to say thank you to all of our Patreon. Oh, man, I was supposed to have this open. There we go. There we go. I'd like to say an extra special thank you to all of our patrons from Patreon. The Patreon patrons. Boop. Long Woo, right at the top. Steven Skoglund, right at the top. Aquarium Co-op, right at the top. Those are our top 3 patrons. Joel Gillett, JT, M. Den Hollander, the number 1 contributor. Jennifer J. Saracino, Matt Guilamente, Guimete, I don't know how to say that guy's name. He's going to send me like an audio file with how to say that. And KZ Ellis, one of my favorites, one of the nicest ladies around. Thank you very much, everybody, for your patronizing of the Patreon. Patronizing the Patreon. And special thank you to Jadron Aquatics and Joel Gillett for your super chats tonight. I appreciate that very much. And Aquatasy shows up right at the end. Made it. I know it's almost over. I was out shopping with my daughter. Just got home. Well, I'm glad you're all here. There is always the secret option of a $1,000 super chat, and we'll stay on late into the late night. Right? Isn't that the rule, babe?
Yep.
All right. Well, how much is it?
Wait, what?
What? How much is it?
What?
How much is it?
How much is what?
How much is it?
$1 million?
No, that's too much. That's unrealistic. There is always the option for a super extension, but that doesn't happen. So we're going to be winding it down tonight. Thank you guys for coming out. I really do appreciate you guys coming out, chatting with me, having a good time, talking about fish stuff, sorting out some of the things that's going on. We have a couple things to talk about here. One of them is some personal effect things, which I will definitely title so you guys know that if you're not interested in any of that kind of conversation, which will be some of the life-building things that I do on a regular basis to keep myself fairly grounded. We also have a lot of the rock work for the reef tomorrow. We have some of the stand build for the 180 and hopefully get that plumbed in. And some other thing that escapes me, but it's a good thing I wrote it down somewhere in the fish room so I know to do it. Something. Can't remember. But a lot of things going on, and we have a big day tomorrow to get a lot of stuff done. Oh, the networking. So we can try and do the live streams from out there from time to time off of the cell phone action hooked up to the network. But that is coming along. And extra thank yous here at the end for everybody for coming out. I really appreciate it. Go ahead and cover up your ears because there's going to be some loud noises coming up here. Surprises! Oh, excuse me. I have a little surprise sneeze there. Surprises! Thanks, guys, for coming out. And now we got to find this button. It's the later button. It's somewhere around here. Later, aka Sunday morning. We're gonna do an early live stream tomorrow in the morning time. So pay attention Sunday morning because we're gonna do early morning for all of the people in Europe that need to that are on an 8-hour break from where I'm at in a different time zone. So we're going to be doing that a little bit later. Okay, later.